Everybody, so today I am going to be talking about how to make a build-up in Reason, or if you are using another program, I guess you can try and translate some of the tips I will be giving on how to make a good build-up. So before I get started on how I made this build-up from the clip I just played, I want to talk to you a little bit about build-ups in general. So basically, I think that the point of a build-up, in no matter what kind of build-up it is to cause and to create energy. Now, I think there's two main kinds of buildups. One is like the one that I just heard, which is like this ever-growing explosive buildup. And then another kind that also works just as well and brings just as much energy is more of a surprise buildup, where the drop comes kind of out of nowhere. But today this tutorial is going to be on a buildup where you're getting everything really growing and getting everything huge sounding. So yeah, let's get started. So in this build-up, what I used was some samples. This is a remix I'm doing, so I used some samples from the original, and I used one synth. I used two sweep up samples. I used two synth samples, and I used, what is down here, some snare drums. So for this build up, what I did was, the first thing you heard were around here is kind of like the drop off point from the intro. The build up really starts right here. And what I did was I took the last few notes from the synth line, and I let me unplug my headphones so you can hear what's going on. Let me just solo the synths. So you heard it go. Now, as you can hear, that's filtering out. That was like the last two hits of the note I did on that main synth. So what I did was I just looped that synth and I filtered it down, 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 till you almost couldn't hear it, which was right around here, and that's when I started the buildup. Now, I took both. There's two different sounds within that sample, and I filtered both of them down. So basically, what I'm creating is this period of a pause where everything is slowly going down. So I think that's a really good thing when you're doing a build-up, is have it go down and then back up. This way, you create even more tension and more energy. Now, when you are building something up, there are three things that I always do. I don't always use all three, but I use at least one of the three, and that is filtering the frequency, using reverb, and using delay. Now, whenever you want to make anything big, just reverb it up, and you can automate the dry and wet on the reverb. So what I did for these synths is I filtered them down, and as you can see around here, there's a reverb. I start reverbing them up as I start building it back up, which makes this synth even bigger. Now, if we go down a bit, let's see what else I have going on here. Here's one of the vocal samples that's getting filtered in to it. Let's skip in. Now that was it dry. Now what I also have going on is if I turn on the delay and I turn on the reverb, listen to what happens. I'm pretty sure you can hear how it's getting bigger and bigger, and I filtered that up. So during this build, this is slowly getting filtered in. So what you have so far is we have these synths getting filtered up and reverbed up, and we got a vocal slowly getting filtered up and reverbed up. And this vocal is just in wave format, and I threw it in an NXT, added a simple delay, and added a simple reverb, and I just automated the wetness of the reverb. Now you may recognize that vocal. It's the turn up the bass vocal. And yes, it is in this song. It's a royalty free. It was a hard decision whether or not to put it in the remix. I'm still not 100% sure if I'm actually going to leave it in the official remix. But right now, that vocal's in there. Now let's see what else I got going on here. Here's something. Let's listen to it. Okay, so this is kind of like I think it sounds like those Japanese drums. It's just like a drum hit that I have filtered up, and I have it filtering up, and I have reverb going up on it. So it's kind of similar to the vocals, as that I'm filtering it in, and I'm uh, also bringing in the reverb. Now let's keep going down. We got this. Okay, so that sounds like it's a vocal sample going like ah, and it looks like I pitched this up and I filtered it up and I filtered reverb up just like the last ones. Although this one's pitching up, so it actually even adds a little bit more. I think it's really cool if you have some of the layers of your build-up non-pitched and some of them pitching up, so you get this kind of crazy chaos sound. Let's keep going down. Here's a sound. Okay, so it looks like I'm filtering this in, I'm pitch bending it up, and I'm also automating the LFO amount of it. Yep. All right, I think you get the gist. So basically, that sound right there was made in Thor, and let's take a quick look at that. I'm not going to go too into detail on how to make these synths because this tutorial is not about that. But this is actually a synth from my last refill. It's pretty much just a sawtooth synth. Yeah, it's just a sawtooth, and what I have controlled is I have the LFO is controlling the pitch of all three oscillators. So that means that, and I have an automation going up, so it's slowly bringing in bringing up the rate and bringing up the amount of LFO to adjust that pitch. So that's how you get that whoa sound. It's kind of like it gets crazier and crazier sounding. So all this is a sawtooth that is slowly drifting up with the pitch, drifting up with the filter, and also drifting up with the LFO automations. One thing you can see about the synth is it's a 3 oscillator sawtooth, but I have the tune of the second and third oscillators split, so you get kind of this phased, weird, out of tune sound. So that's why it's kind of sounds like that.